All right, everyone. So I have some time from now until my next class. So I decided to share my medical situation. Um, if someone is interested in analyzing medical conditions um, and feels like helping me out, I'm going to tell you my story. Um, and if you want to share anything in the comments, you can go right ahead. Okay, so I'm gonna just basically type out what I remember. Um, I guess like significant things that happened. Um, and I'm just gonna keep going until I get tired of this video. Mind you, I'm already kind of tired because of this condition that they're saying I have. Okay, so in no specific order, um, the first time I went to emergency for this situation was around 2015. I was going to an ESL teachers conference in Dubai. And I was flying from Qatar. So what happened was I was I was at the airport at Qatar and I was going to Dubai. And then in the airport, I got hungry. So I bought a sandwich. The sandwich was vegetarian. And what I remember is it had like caramelized onion and lettuce. I don't remember what else was in there, but it was just one of like the kiosks in the airport. Then I went to some kind of like prayer lounge and rested before the flight. As I headed to the flight, I started to feel a lump in my throat. And then I got on the airplane, the small airplane, and the lump just wouldn't go away. And then I got to Dubai. I just put my luggage at close like family's house, like some extended family's house, and I headed to the conference. This lump never went away. It wasn't, I don't know, it didn't feel like a physical lump. It was just really uncomfortable. And then I went, you know how conferences are, you just go from room to room, and then it's a couple of days or whatever, 3 days. And then I went home, went to sleep, and the lump was still there. And it was very uncomfortable. I didn't think too much about what to eat because right before like this time, I had decided to, I don't know, lose weight. I didn't do it through any professional. I just cut down sugar, did things that I didn't think were a big deal because I don't know anything about, nutrition like professionally or anything. Anyway, so I had a meal, I went to sleep, woke up the next day. I was still uncomfortable. And then I went to the conference. And then I was just going around, going to different lectures, feeling uncomfortable, but ESL conferences are a lot of fun. Um, and then I was at one of the um, lectures or seminars, and then um, I um, had to stay in the same room for the duration of the um, for two like um, for two seminars back to back. The room started feeling stuffy, um, and I started to feel anxious. I didn't know, like, I knew what anxiousness is or anxiety is in general, but I didn't think that's such a big deal because I started learning about this after that. So at some point, I left the room. I was feeling very like feeling short of breath, I guess. Um, and then um, one, I started feeling really dizzy and all that. And then they called the ambulance. And what, I don't know what they did, but they put me into an elevator, and then they were gonna take me upstairs because it was like a hotel. They took me upstairs. I don't remember what they did, but um, basically, at some point, I did get to the hospital, um, and I was feeling really not good. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I felt, but I was just, not good. And then I um, called my extended family member that I was staying with, and she was a doctor, and she spoke to the staff on the phone. And then um, the doctor said to me to get, you know, do full investigation in Qatar. So he's basically saying like, you need to go figure out like what's going on. So I did not, I don't remember if I attended any more seminars from the conference, but I basically got back to Qatar. I did, I did go back earlier. Like I didn't stay for the whole thing. So in Qatar, the hospital visitations started. Um, um, my stomach never felt better for a while. I got the usual stuff from the hospital. They gave me like stomach acid controlling things, um, medications. I got H. pylori, sort of medication. I was too tired to work, and I would go to work, but I would just come back home. I would be throwing up. That's when I started watching Suits, because I had nothing to do. So I was just sitting at home watching Suits. And then I also watched another show. Anyway, I thought like I'll get better, and things were just gonna get better. Um, so if you have any questions up until this point, let me know. Then um, I was not feeling good for a few months. I was going to work, but on and off. Um, the doctors I was speaking to, like a lot of them were nice, and they would talk to me on the phone, or all that extra support. And then I at some point, um, I got just better enough to go back to Canada. Um, for some time, I was kind of okay, like my stomach was kind of okay, but then it got worse again. We went on a trip to USA. We went to Miami, and then I had another big dinner at um, the Cheesecake Factory, and then horrible stomach issues happened. Um, and then I ended up back in emergency um, in the US. And then they mentioned anxiety again, um, and basically like um, bloating, acid issues, and stuff like that again. And then I don't remember what the doctor said, but um, he just gave me antacids basically. He gave me the, you know, like drinking one. And then actually I might write this down because I want to remember what it was that I got. Okay. And then I fly back to Qatar. Um, I work for a bit. I come back to Canada. So if you are following like my sort of life plan is I was trying to just go between Qatar and Canada. Okay. Um, like that was my career goal or whatever. And then I visit my family doctor here in Canada. And then um, he basically said I was planning to go back to Qatar, but then he called me and said that there is an issue in my lung. And then basically, physicians I saw after that said that some of them would say my issue starting in the lungs, and then some people said my issue was starting like in my stomach or digestive tract. So I'm gonna maybe make this bigger here. So then I at some point I do go back to Qatar. I don't remember exactly like, but I was going back and forth. And at the hospital, I was asked to finally speak to a psychologist. We spoke about everything that was causing me stress. And I had never worked with a psychologist before, so it was a new experience for me. He was very helpful. We spoke about a lot of my fears, anxieties, whatever, all of these things, and all of that. And then, yeah, and then, however, physically, my lung never like got better, and my digestion never like got better, like to the point where I was like up and running with work again. I was always like compromised in these two areas. And I'm trying to remember what happened here. So So see a psychologist, talk about my stressors. I used to see a respirologist, and occasionally I would see like um, someone to talk to about my stomach. Um, and um, at some point in this mix, I stayed in Toronto for 4 months. I did not like my accommodation. I don't know if that's spelled right. It was really old and kind of moldy. But again, I never thought these things, I didn't really know much about this stuff and how it affects the body. Um, and I would just basically come at night, put my head down, and then wake up, and I'm out of the house all day. So, and I was on a very tight budget, so I didn't really, um, have the option to stay somewhere else. And the trip to work was very long, very tiring. I am not good with meal prep. It's not something that I like grew up learning about. Like in our family, there was always someone else who was um, doing meals or whatever. I would help, but I never like, settled enough to like work on this. So as you can see, there's a bit of messy life situation going on. I was focused on just going to work. And I had a lot of like bad habits. I um, didn't have proper self-care and all that stuff. Um, and I was not good at like listening to my body, all of this stuff. Um, I didn't like hospitals. I don't like doctors. So yeah, um, yeah, I was kind of always like just on the go, go, go. Um, and, you know, I used whatever little energy that I got from whatever, like sleep and whatever, and I would just use that to just go to work. Um, and I didn't know how to like circulate my life around rest as opposed to like rest and like food as opposed to like the excitement of like career stuff and all that. Okay, so all of this kind of happened from 2015 up until like a few years. Okay. All right, I'm gonna erase everything and see what else I remember. Okay, so with some investigations, I was told I have systemic lupus, Sjogren's. These are all the things I heard. Um, interstitial lung disease, fibrosis in my lungs. I saw a rheumatologist. He didn't really say anything specific other than like the SLE and the Sjogren's. So this is kind of what I've been hearing, and what I was told. One second. Sorry about that. And then I okay, so I was given Imuran. I was given some kind of what is it called? Cortisone, some kind of cortisone. And I didn't know how to regulate these two. So then I had like outbursts of like this. And then I was given some psychiatric medication. I really did not know how to like regulate this stuff. And my body was just haywire. It was so bad. And then I saw some, mind you, through all of this, I'm trying to work part-time or something. So then I thought, let me try out naturopathy. Some things were nice and some things were not nice. I'll talk about this a little bit. So I saw a couple of naturopaths. We talked about like food and lighter, like iron pills. We talked about like stress management. We talked about like breathing techniques, some herbs. Some of the herbs were like, wait, let me try to remember what they are. Ashwagandha. I didn't know what this was. It's not part of like my culture or background culture. I was given curcumin powder, some kind of honey. I got some kind of like, let me get some water. I got some kind of honey and I got some kind of black seed. This like killed me. Like this was really like crazy, like on my body. So I don't know why that is or was. I don't know what like was going on here. Another naturopath told me that there are two types of lupus, and yeah, and then at some point, like I was just not able to eat. I was not able to function properly, and I had a doctor actually diagnose malnutrition. I lost a lot of weight. I spoke to another biochemist basically, and he helped me gain weight. And yeah, one naturopath gave me probiotics. And I don't even know why I'm laughing right now. I had a terrible time the past few years. But I'm just like, so much stuff like, and I didn't mean to like be all over the place, but I just, I tried to work with what I have and what I have access to, and yeah. This killed me. The probiotics murdered me. This was probably the most terrible thing that ever happened. Okay, this. Pay attention to this. This was death and terrible. Whew. So yeah, I did not go back to this naturopath. yeah, not cool. It just jolted me. Um, and since then, I've been having like um, sudden jolts of fear. Um, like I read now here and there about stuff, and I'm trying to like understand body fluids, all of this stuff. Um, Initially, I was not interested in like human anatomy and physiology and all that. um, but now I'm just learning about it so I can help myself. Just a second. Okay. Um, and then I, yeah, so yeah, as you can see, like different things happened throughout the years. Um, okay, my lifestyle. I'm gonna erase some of this stuff. Okay. Um, so I was born in Sudan. I stayed for 1 week or so there. I grew up in UAE, in like basically the Dubai area, whatever, because that's what people know. Um, we had very like strict routines. Um, um, all our education was academic, um, and yeah, I went from KG. I basically did KG kindergarten until grade 8 um, in Abu Dhabi. Um, we had routines, like I said. Um, we went to private schools. Um, we basically went to school 5 days a week. Um, either we would take like private, um, bus, like school buses, um, and or my dad would like pick us up or drop us off or whatever. Um, Life revolved around school. Um, some things from school. I never had too many friends. Um, um, Things I was conscious about when I was little. I didn't like my hair. I had coarse African hair, and yeah, that's something that kept me like super conscious of it, like for many, many years, almost like until a few years ago, recent. Like I'm very like conscious of my hair. Most of the people I went to school with had um, straight, long hair, and I had kind of short, poofy hair. um, yeah, and um, I had crooked teeth, so I would laugh, like I would cover my teeth when I laugh. Um, I am of like brown complexion, and I went to school with a lot of like light complexioned people, like people who are light skinned, whatever. So I was kind of um, conscious about all of these things growing up. And then I was conscious of my weight, and body shape. I wanted to excel in like sports, but I was just average. Um, my family, upper family, is quite sedentary. Um, so yeah, I didn't have a lot of like motivation to like become super competitive in sports. So I just like studied a lot, and I read a lot. Um, yeah, so this is up until like grade 8. Um, if you have any questions, let me know. And then came to Canada for grade 9 until 4th year university. So all these years I lived in Canada. I did go, I traveled in 2012 again. And like all this time I had not traveled, like since we came to Canada, until this was my first international travel. And then I went to Sudan, went to Egypt, and I went to Qatar. And this is where I was like, hey, I like this place. I'm going to go back to Canada and I'm going to work towards this. Okay. I was kind of fine here. Here, I started feeling sick. Actually, no, I went like this. Like this. I started feeling sick after I came back to Canada. Super thick stomach pain. This lasted almost a year. Not fun. I was also like in and out of hospital. It was not good. It was a terrible time, and unfortunately, like upper family were like, oh, you know, blah blah. You need some kind of spiritual help, and it was really annoying. Um, and then things got better. 2013, I went back to university. Um, I couldn't tolerate caffeine anymore. And I didn't figure this out until like I had like several like anxiety attacks with this. So now I just don't drink like, you know, heavy like dark or heavy coffee and stuff. Tea is a little better, but coffee is like if I want my heart to race like terribly, then you know, I just don't do this anymore. Um, and yeah, so then I went back to Qatar um, and started working. And then I basically tried to finish like my 4th year, like going back and forth between Qatar and Canada. So I did some of my 4th year online. Okay. Um, so um, I used to pull a lot of all-nighters. You know, I um, hung out a lot with friends, you know, but yeah, like people I went to school with, people I went to university with, um, and stuff like that. Um, and then in Qatar, I worked a lot. It didn't seem like it because I was always taking a course online. But see, that's the thing. Like, I never thought of like studying as part of work, you know, like because it's not paid. But you know, the body just sees work as work. So I was always doing something. And then um, I um, went to the gym whenever I could. Um, not super consistent. I loved walking. I walked a lot. Qatar has smog. Um, not good. I could see it, and it had like a lot of building material like splashing like around the air. It was just not good. And one of the doctors did tell me to like change my, you know, route. Um, some of the things like doctors have asked me before, if like have I been on accidents? Um, I remember maybe 3 car accidents um, throughout my life. Um, one was where I stopped very suddenly. Um, um, one was somebody hit me from the back, and another time someone hit me from the back. So um, yeah, um, I had I had like light like fear for a while. I had a lot of anxiety in airplanes, terrible. Had to go through therapy for this. Um, I always had stressful um, guy relationships. All of them were stressful. All of them. I had to cancel pretty much all my male friends. They're all stressful people. Um, um, and I did have stressful friendships because I kind of opened up a lot when I went to Canada. Like I became super social and I became super like um, available for like help and you know community um, like support or whatever, like getting involved with the community, helping stuff and causes and stuff like that. I was always in transportation. I'm always on a bus or a train or a car. So as you can see, a lot of non-settling things. Um, yeah, so um, I like um, I would say I have a strict religion, um, and this is enough to like teach like discipline. Um, but what stresses me out is that on top of like the strict religion, there's a lot of like human like rules and laws. So the combination of this and this for me is like super too much. Um, And I'm constantly like going back and forth, trying to find a middle ground between these two things. And I'm just exhausted from both of them, like physically and mentally, and stuff. Um, so yeah. What else? Um, I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to share. Um, I've been to India. I haven't had any like anxiety issues in India. Um, Never went to the hospital except like maybe once. Um, but other than that, like I really liked it there. I like their like version of naturopathy. Um, the country is beautiful, very natural. Not a lot of like strict um, like visit rules, like you know. Um, it's not expensive if you're coming like as a foreigner. Um, you know, not a lot of taxation to deal with, and things like that. I just loved it. It's gorgeous. Um, they have a lot of like um, religious centers that like they look nice, but they look scary at the same time because they do consider some people, I guess, as gods or something, and some animals. So that was a little weird for me, a little stressful, but a lot of the stories sound like myths and things that like stories people say to children. I don't mean this in like a, I don't mean it in a um what do you call it? Like I don't mean it in a rude way or anything, but it is it's an overwhelming like religion, like what I saw around India. I'm just gonna have some water and come back.